Thank you for joining me for another Lead in the Moment conversation. Recently, I spoke to you about the Truth and Reconciliation Commission established in South Africa in 1995 as an exercise in restorative rather than retributive justice. Its purpose wasn't to punish anybody, but rather to bear witness, to record, and in some cases to grant amnesty to the perpetrators of human rights violations and to grant reparation and rehabilitation to victims. But perhaps most important of all is that it offered ordinary South Africans the opportunity in public to express regret and remorse for failures of the past. Many of you wrote in to ask why I thought it was such an effective way to heal a fractured society and rebuild trust. And I think it was effective because it constituted an apology. And an apology is the first step in building and rebuilding trust after it has been broken. And if it didn't constitute a complete apology, it at least fulfilled the requirements of the first two steps out of four that an effective apology should entail. You see, apology isn't just a formula. It isn't just a formula of, I'm sorry, and then check it off. And it isn't a response to a demand of another person. I demand an apology, okay, so I'm sorry. And it certainly isn't, I'm sorry you feel that way, which of course isn't an apology at all. Now, an apology needs to come from a deep inner place of being, and it should comprise four steps. Number one, admission, remorse, remediation, and prevention. Admission, which seems to be rather obvious, isn't so obvious because often victims don't believe that the perpetrator really acknowledges they even did wrong. So articulating what it is that you did wrong gives the other person a sense of comfort that we're aware of the fact that we did wrong and that we take responsibility for it. Remorse, part of the damage to the victim is that he or she often perceives that the perpetrator doesn't care about them or doesn't respect them as a human being. So refer to a genuine emotion that you feel. I'm truly sorry about what I did. I feel sad about it. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm ashamed of myself for what I did. Number three, remediation. The victim often believes nothing's going to change, so take remedial steps immediately. Here's what I'd like to do to make up for what I did. And then number four, prevention. Here's what I plan to do to make sure that this doesn't repeat itself in the future. So imagine a situation where you might have cut somebody short in a meeting and caused them to feel disrespected, and later on you're having a conversation with them. Your apology might look something like, I realize that I cut you off during our meeting last Wednesday, and it was in the most disrespectful way. I can't tell you how sorry I am that I humiliated you, and how disappointed I am in myself for having done so. I want you to know that at the start of our next meeting, I'm going to refer to you in a way that will make it abundantly clear to everybody how much regard I have for you. And I would ask that you call me out next time you notice me cut somebody short in a meeting. Because that way, if it does happen again unintentionally, I can remedy it immediately. Apology restores trust. It strengthens connection, and it creates bonds. A relationship that has been damaged by an action of undermining is often stronger after an apology than it was before the undermining action. So try it and observe its impact on your connections and relationships. And I'd love to hear about your experiences and share some of them. So please do write me.